Welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. I hope you had a good day of trading today and the rest of this week. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. Spend some time with your family. Have a good time. Had a good week so far. The market is closed tomorrow. We'll be open about half a day on Friday. So we're going to kind of talk about where we're at so far this week, what we've traded. We'll also kind of talk about our game plan for the half day on Friday and just kind of give you an overall view where we're at right now. And so let's jump over there. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about U.S. Steel. So I'm going to pull that up first. That's the trade we made recently this week. I got a 5-year chart up here. I wanted to show you this. This is one I've actually held for a long time here. Actually, first shares I bought, I wanted to go over that with you. It was in 10/18, the year 18, right around in this area here. You see here, let me get that on there for us, but right in this area here, 10/18 is where I bought. So it was right in here. I bought at $29.75 my first shares. So I sold the other day on the 24th. I sold at $14 a share. So I wanted to just kind of show you this because this is the power of cost averaging. And so as you can see, you say, well, why in the world did you buy it at $29? Well, if you go back here, you'll see this thing was up at 45. And I had made money on this thing before from way back here when it ran up to like $14 or so. I had sold, and you see how high it got then. Okay, and then it dipped back down and it went back up to that height there. So U.S. Steel has I've seen it do this a lot. And so sometimes it takes a year or two as you invest in one of these. But hey, what's a year or two? Nothing wrong with waiting a year or two to make 13.9% on something. So that's what we did. We cost averaged down. If you see these little D's, all these D's are dividend payments. Now, it's not a giant dividend payment, but there's a little bit of payment coming in as well. It should be as much as it was dropping, right? Now, if you reinvest your dividends, and this is the power of reinvesting dividends too, I don't do that just because I like to just get the cash in my account, and I'll distribute it in wherever I want. But if you just automatically do this, you're building up your share base with these dividends being reinvested every time. So you see it's just a little penny dividend on the number of shares. If you got thousands of shares, then that adds up. But there's a nickel. But you see a little bit of dividend payment. And but it got all the way down here to this 5.29 mark, and I'm buying all this time. I forget what the latest shares were, but they were $5 shares, $6 shares, $7 shares, $9 shares that I was buying, and I had cost averaged it to a point where when I sold at 14 the other day, it was a 13.9% gain. So that's a good gain. Holding now, all of them I did not have for 2 years. Just that first lot was two years ago. The rest of them, about a year old. I had some that's a year old, and some of them that were not old at all. They're in this range here. So you can see here, this is this year. Now, I'm still holding the ones in my cash account. We're going to keep holding those just because I like to have a little bit of that U.S. Steel. I think it could do like it did last time, keep going on up. But that retirement account's a whole different story than my cash account. We can take a little bit more risk with the cash account than we want to with the retirement account. We have that 6% goal on the retirement accounts, and so if I get that or something close, that's what I want to do. I don't want to get crazy there, get greedy. So that's what we did. Went ahead and sold that, but still holding a tiny bit of it in the cash account. And if it goes up to 44, I'll probably never see that. But not going to be any hurry there because in the cash account, you have to pay, taxes on that. That's all taxable. Whereas if you're trading in this traditional IRA, it's not taxable until you take the money out. And at that point, it's treated as income. So, but when you sell it from a cash account, it's treated as a capital gains tax. A little bit lower, I think it is, than normal income. At least it was with Trump. Now Biden gets in there, then that's maybe a different story. But bottom line is, I don't like to fool with that taxable sale during the year unless I just need to. Otherwise, I'll probably hold it a lot longer in a cash account. But then again, if it gets up too high, I'm gonna take it and we'll deal with the taxes. But don't mind paying the tax man. And when you're making money, you don't want that to keep you from selling at a decent price. All right, so that's kind of what we did there on that. Uh, let's go ahead and take a look at our portfolio. Jump back over to that real quick. Let's just scoot back to that. You can see it. It's still at 1457 now. So that would have been a lot more money with the number of shares I had, but that's okay. We've had a great week, and we're having a great year, so we don't sweat every little penny that you could have, should have made. You got to have those points where you're just happy as can be, where you're making money. And this has been a great year, so we're not gonna worry about it. So far, the year's not over. These things can turn on a dime, especially when you're holding a lot of one stock. And I've got too much of Novobax, and I tried to trim that today, but didn't quite get there. Here's my Novobax, and I actually was going to trim some of my losers that I'm holding. I think some of the higher price shares I've got of this is 114. Now I've cost averaged that one to a 103.75, I think it was. So I'm in at about 103.75, so we're about even, according to that right there. And actually went over, got into the green finally today on it. What I'm holding, I'm cost average, like I said, 103.75. So what I was going to do is sell my, my higher price shares. Just go ahead and take that loss. But that's, when you have a green day like we had today and green week like we had this week, it doesn't really feel like a loss, but it is, but not noticeable because you've had such a good week. So I was going to do that. I was trying to sell today at 104, and it never got there. So I was trying to sell some of the shares at 104, and it never got there, which would have left me with some very nice price shares, and my cost average would have dropped considerably, and I would have been way up on the shares I'd be holding. So we're still going to try to do that. That's going to be probably something we try to do Friday. If it gets up, it had a great day. Look at this. I mean, it's $7 and something. It was up as much as $8.50, I think it was today earlier. So had a great day. You can see it's just trimmed on up, and then here's where the volume comes in at. But the volume overall today, look at it. It's not even your average volume. So I doubt there's a whole lot of big boy stuff going on here. Here's the same deal. I've noticed this. It seems like around lunchtime, their time, Eastern time, that's our time, 10:28. So that'd be about 11:30. You see this thing start to go up, the volume goes up. These are, just getting pumped up there, and it comes back down. And then it seems like every time it gets around, when they come back, they knock it back down. But it don't seem like they can hold this one. This one seems like it's just trying to go up, something fierce. Even on low volume, you see these low volumes. So I like what I'm seeing. The only issue you have to worry about here with something like this, even though it looks really good, and you like what you see, these things are news driven. So any kind of bad news about a test, this thing can drop like a rock. So that's why I really want to get trimmed up on it, cut down on some of the shares I've got, because if they come out, let's say, with some bad news on one of those tests, then this thing could drop like a rock. So we don't want to be holding, heavy shares on it when it drops like a rock. Of course, I prefer not to be holding any when it drops like a rock. That's where you go in and buy it again. But we're gonna, if you're like today, if I could have got rid of those more expensive shares and put them on the side and take that little loss, I would be up a pretty good percentage on the ones I'm holding. So it could take a pretty good whack before I even get even on what I'm holding. So that's just kind of my thinking. You kind of treat things, like I said in my strategy videos. You'll see if you go watch those. There's a couple of them. You got to be flexible. I don't like to sell things for a loss, but I'm thinking big picture, all shares a lot of times. So I might sell those expensive shares just to be holding the good ones. And you know, that way if it takes that hit, you're not in such a bad shape. All right. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on there with that one. It was a good day for Novobax. I'm going to be holding that one, but we are going to try to trim it up a little bit if we can. That would be great if we could get there. We'll see if we can do that Friday. Tomorrow we are having a closed day. So let's look at our portfolio. XSPA was up a little bit today. That's another one of those COVID stocks. Hadn't done much. We bought that for a pop. Has not popped to the point we want. We're down on that one. NKLA actually was having a pretty good week. Let me pull that up for us. 5-day chart, and it took a good lick today. You can see here yesterday had a really good day. Got way up here. And actually, this is one I actually tried to sell yesterday. Didn't get the sale, but I was trying to sell it for just a little small gain. I had a pretty good bit of money in this one, but I've already made some good money on this one in the previous buy and sell. So I was just I'm trying to get my cash built up because don't know what's going to happen once Biden gets into the office, if he does. And you know, everything looks like he will, but I'm still holding out hope. But we got to be realistic too. It's a big battle to climb if they can turn that around. But I'm thinking, you know, if he gets in there, we'll probably be okay as long as they can keep the Senate, you know, to have that split government. That's, you know, nothing crazy is going to happen with, you know, with taxes and things like that. So anyway, you see there, that was a good day. And then, of course, this first thing this morning sells off and kind of blew yesterday. But it has been doing pretty decent here lately. Let's look at the 1 month chart. You can see the trend is up. It did get a little crazy yesterday going up, but it's back in line with the trend line here. So looks pretty good to me. I'm not worried about that one. We're holding a good bit of shares on that one though. That is our Nikola Corporation. It is a electric car company, mostly trucks. I think they're mainly trucks. All right, HTBX, good day for that, 15%, almost 16. Of course, you see this is one of those low price share stocks, one of those that we bought just to play. That's one of those COVID stocks, waiting for a good bounce. Though that looks like a good bounce, we way down on this one. So I don't know what my cost average is on that right off the top of my head, but I'd say we got a ways to go on that one still. There's our Novobax. We've already talked about that. XOM, I'm surprised that one really didn't do much today, but because oil was up today, I think. But let's take this 5-day chart. You can see it's pretty good. 1 month chart, it's kind of trend line is up, so that's good. It's because oil's been going up, so I would expect that to go up as well. Then we got X. That's the one, like I said, we sold. We still have it in the cash account, so I may just leave it on there so we can talk about it from time to time in case some of you bought it. But I did sell it out of the IRA. Okay. But it is X again. Let's just take a quick look at that 1 month chart on that one. You can see the trend line's up. And the last few days, it went from 11 to 14 something. So if it gets back down in this range here, we'll start trying to add to it again, I guess. We'll probably start picking some up. At the 11, that sure is better than the 29 the first time I bought last time. So, but it could get back down to this range for sure. We'll just watch it. I'm not sure how. I know there's tariffs on some of this steel that's coming in here, so I don't know if those get removed, what that does to this. But an infrastructure would make it go to that 44 probably again, a 30 something. So, I mean, it's not a bad play down here, I don't think. I might jump and start buying in right around here somewhere, $11. We'll see. Okay, and ACB, that's one of our pot stocks. Now that has been on an upward trend though. I've been noticing that those have been going up a little bit. You can see here's the bottom, and look at that, it shot up big time right there. Of course, it fell back down, and here we go again. So, but we got a ways to go on that one. You can see we were way up here at one point. If you go back a year, you're talking way up here. So 29. We did that. There was a reverse split. I forget what it was, 8-1, something like that. So That's going to be one to be hard to recover from, but we're just holding it. We don't need the money. We don't need to put that kind of cash, losing cash on the sideline. We like to put that winning cash on the sideline. So that's the goal. All right, so that's our portfolio. Let's take a quick look at the markets. You can see today we did have a red day today, but the market has been doing well. It actually hit 30,000, closed above 30,000 yesterday. So we got a little bit of red days, understandable. Asia tonight, you got a little bit of green. Nothing major. Looks like Nikki's up the most there, 1/3%. So everything else looks halfway decent. There went Shanghai, went red. So Hong Kong's red. Okay. Looks like about a flat day. Nikki's doing pretty good. Oil. Check out oil. I had not been looking at oil real close, but I knew it was trending up. But it's got 40, almost $46. Brent's at 49 almost. So it says here oil jumps to 8-month high on U.S. inventory drop and vaccine hopes. So look out there. I mean, if our inventory is dropping and vaccine gets going and the economy gets going, and that's kind of what I'm thinking might happen is this stuff will actually trend up as the economy cranks up once this vaccine comes out and people start taking it. You're going to see people start traveling, flying more, and of course that oil is going to continue to go up when that happens. And if the inventories are down and not expecting that, not built up, I mean, that oil will get gobbled up really quick and that price could jump real high. So we're going to have to watch that. And then plus we got this unknown with Biden coming into office that, could change everything there as well. So we're going to watch that real close. That one, again, what I've noticed too is the steel stocks, for some reason, kind of trade with these oil stocks. So if you get you a good dip on that U.S. steel and want to jump in, that might be a good time to get in on too, because if it's going to follow the oil's probably going to keep going up. But let's see if it can get over that 50 mark, because I think most oil companies make pretty good money at 50. So, and if it can stay there, I mean, we've seen it kind of get close to that and drop right back down. So, but oil prices are still looking good. I mean, gas prices are still looking good. So that's awesome. But as far as tomorrow goes, we got a closed market. It's Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey and dressing. We're going to be taking it easy. We had some company, and we really enjoyed having our company over. And but tomorrow we're going to just kind of lay low. And I hope y'all have a great meal tomorrow. Kick back, enjoy some football, whatever's on there, whatever you like. And then Friday the market will be open for the first half of the day, and then I think the after hours goes to the second half. So we'll be trying to unload some of those high dollar Novobax shares that we have, and then ride out the rest of them. Okay. And other than that, I think that's about the closest thing I've got. Now, if that NKLA gets back close to even, I may just dump that as well, because sure would like to have that cash up to about 50% or 60% just before the first of the year. I'm at 31% right now on the cash. We are absolutely killing the markets, and they're having a good year, but we're doing really well, so hopefully that holds up. But they could all turn on a dime with this amount of Novobax we're holding. That could all turn on a dime, so we got to get out of some of that. And that's my goal for Friday, okay? Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll check back with you sometime, maybe Sunday night, all right? Have a great one. Thanks. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already by clicking this button right here. Thanks. Bye.